I was about to marry my fiancée of 2 years until I discovered a video from her bachelorette party where she revealed the real reason why she wanted to marry me, so I decided to walk down the aisle in casual clothes and told everyone her secret. My partner, Georgina, and I have enjoyed a wonderful 6 years together. We got engaged 2 years ago and have been planning to get married this year. She and I met when I was on a work trip to another country. Incidentally, it happened to be the first visit for both of us to that particular place. While exploring the place, it started to rain unexpectedly one afternoon. I rushed to take cover in a cozy little coffee shop nearby. As I walked in, feeling a bit disheartened by the weather, my eyes were immediately drawn to a tall, attractive woman sitting in a corner, completely engrossed in a book. Now I'm not the sort of person who can just walk up to someone and ask them out, so I just ordered hot chocolate for myself and settled at a nearby table, stealing glances in her direction. I guess she must have noticed me staring at her because she responded with a warm smile that instantly put me at ease. We struck up a conversation about our favorite authors, and from there, it was like we couldn't stop talking. Her enthusiasm for life was infectious, and I found myself drawn to her kindness and genuine nature. Over the rest of our vacation, we started spending more and more time together, exploring new places, trying new cuisines, and discovering shared interests. What really amazed me about Georgina was her ability to always see the bright side of things, even when things didn't go to plan. Being the oldest child in my family, I was very rigid when it came to planning out every single detail of my life while Georgina just went with the flow. It was liberating to be around her, and I think that is why I quickly fell in love with her. When we returned home, we continued to stay in touch. She asked me out on an official date, and the rest is history. She had this incredible sense of humor that never fails to make me laugh even on the toughest days, and her support for my dreams and aspirations has always been unwavering. Georgina has been very open with me about her family's challenging history. She shared very early on that her father was abusive and left her and her mother with very little money when she was just a baby. Her mother, Carl, had to take on various odd jobs to make ends meet. He single-handedly had to cover rent and Georgina's education and put food on the table, which must have been horrible for him to handle alone. Georgina even recounted once a particularly distressing memory where her father had resorted to desperate measures for money, starting to have intimacy with men in their neighborhood to earn some extra cash. Unfortunately, this led to a dangerous situation. Georgina vividly remembers the humiliation from that incident, and it's something that has deeply affected her. This is why she has worked so hard all her life to provide for her father. Although I don't blame her father, I have always felt bad for my fiancée. She had to grow up too soon and did not even get to enjoy her childhood properly. Hence, I've always made it a priority to give Georgina experiences and gifts that she missed out on before. Whether it's asking her to the opera or Disneyland or surprising her with expensive Star Wars collectibles and an Xbox, things she's always wanted, I've spared no expense to fulfill her dreams. I'm fortunate to afford these luxuries, not only because of my well-paid job but also because I come from a comfortable background with a home in my name and no rent to worry about. My parents are wealthy. Seeing her happy and experiencing things she never had the chance to do before is incredibly rewarding. When we go on vacations, I cover all the expenses because I know she wouldn't be able to afford the luxurious 5-star resorts that I prefer. On our birthdays, I've never pressured her to buy me expensive gifts. I cherish meaningful gestures like hand-drawn cards or heartfelt letters. I've always had open conversations with Georgina about my spending on her, making sure she's comfortable with it. Thankfully, she has never raised any concerns and understands where I'm coming from. Our relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding, and it brings me joy to see her happy and content with me. One of my fondest memories with her was our trip to the mountains 2 years ago. We hiked to the top of a peak and watched the sunset together, feeling like we were on top of the world. In those quiet moments, surrounded by nature and her comforting presence, I knew I had found someone truly special. Just as I was lost in the tranquility of the moment, Georgina surprised me in the most heartwarming way possible. She knelt down before me and pulled out a small velvet box. My heart skipped a beat as I realized what was happening. I hadn't expected a proposal then and there, but the love and sincerity in her eyes were unmistakable. Inside the box was a ring that sparkled in the fading light, a ring she had been quietly saving up for to mark this very moment. Tears of joy welled up in my eyes as I said yes without hesitation, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude and love. In that breathtaking setting under the canopy of the evening sky, I knew in my heart that I had found not just a partner but my soulmate. That evening, as we descended the mountain together hand in hand, I couldn't stop smiling. It is a memory etched into my heart forever. When we started planning our future together, I felt incredibly lucky to have Georgina by my side. She wasn't just my fiancée. She was my best friend and my confidant. My parents love her as much as I do. However, the only person who seems to have a problem with us is her father. Dealing with Georgina's father has been a challenge for me. Despite meeting him several times, he has never really warmed up to me. It's not that I sense jealousy or resentment, which might be more typical in future fathers-in-law. Instead, he seems to regard me with pity, almost as if he finds me distasteful. I tried to initiate conversations with him about this, hoping to understand his perspective or address any concerns he might have, but he remains silent and ignores me until I eventually walk away. It's perplexing and hurtful because I genuinely want to build a positive relationship with him for Georgina's sake. Navigating this dynamic has been tough, especially when I see how much Georgina values family. I've learned to approach interactions with him cautiously, hoping that with time and effort, we can bridge whatever divide seems to exist between us. Georgina's father has a peculiar reaction whenever she shows affection towards me in his presence. He visibly recoils in disgust. It's an uncomfortable situation for both of us, so we've learned not to display any sign of affection when he's around. It's a bit odd, but we respect his boundaries nonetheless. I remember the first time Georgina dragged me to have Christmas dinner with her father. It was just the three of us, and he hardly spoke to me throughout the evening, which made for a rather awkward experience. As we sat at the table, he and Georgina chewed their food loudly while I found myself trying to make small talk to fill the silence. Despite my efforts, the atmosphere remained tense and awkward. I did not enjoy the evening at all. Since my family went all out to celebrate the holidays, we gathered with extended family, exchanged gifts, and enjoyed festive meals together, a tradition I've always cherished from my childhood. The next year, I remember discussing with Georgina the idea of her joining me for our Christmas celebration with my family instead of going to her father's, but she firmly told me that she was not going to ditch her father. I respected her decision. I didn't push the matter further. It was important to her, and I understood her desire to be with her father during the holidays. To find a balance that worked for both of us, we agreed on a compromise. We would spend the Christmas holidays separately with our respective families. This way, Georgina could enjoy the day with her father, and I could celebrate it with my family. This solution has worked out and made both of us happy over the years. However, last year, my grandparents passed away, and out of respect, my family decided not to hold our usual Christmas celebration that year. This is why I suggested to Georgina that she and I spend Christmas evening with her father. When I mentioned this to her, instead of understanding, she suddenly became defensive.